Someone had indicated to Lee that you were having trouble hearing me in the back. Trust me, I'm an old school teacher. I can be heard to Sheffield even without this. So if you can't hear, I don't want you to miss anything, right? Let me know that. We can turn this up, or I can shout louder, or whatever we need to do. Well, it all started right here. When I say it all started, I'm talking 1855 when the university moved over here from the LaGrange Mountain. A guy named Zebulon Pike Morrison, I mentioned him a while ago for that little street being named for him, but he was the builder of this structure. It's a wonderful example, as you can see, of the Gothic Revival style of architecture. It has become the kind of icon for this campus. If you see pictures advertising U.N.A., you will almost invariably see photographs of this one. Now, can you hear me in the back okay? Okay, good. I wouldn't want you to miss anything. Right? But this building, now, what is hard to visualize, this building was the only building on campus in 1855. Now, there are 9,000, 10,000 students. I could hardly imagine they would all fit into this one building, right? So, of course, the campus now sprawls all over the place in this part of town, and is both an educational asset and an economic asset to this community. But about this building, Mr. Morrison was a multi-talented guy. He not only did the building here, he did not do the design, he did the building itself, and he also was an undertaker. I don't quite get the connection, but nonetheless, he was an undertaker and had a business in that field for a number of years even after this building was constructed. But we have him to thank for a building that is this sturdy and that has lasted through wars. Speaking of wars, during the Civil War, you probably have heard this, that it was a field hospital here, because there weren't any actual hospitals during that time. There were field hospitals in various locations in cities across the South. So this was a field hospital during that period of time. Because once the Civil War broke out, the college closed down for 4 years. Because it was, I forgot to tell you that part, it was only males who were admitted to the college, and it was only males who were teaching here. That all changed in about 1872, thank goodness. But there were no students. There were very few teachers. They all left, and I assume joined the Confederacy. It might not have been the case, actually, because North Alabama was so reluctant about the seceding from the Union. It was unlike, some other parts of Alabama. It really, overall, did not cater to the idea of seceding from the Union. Now, ultimately, it did, and so again, though, I can't say that all these boys and their teachers actually joined the Confederate Army, but nonetheless, the school closed down for that period of time, and it became a field hospital. And here's what I'd like to tell you about that, because it speaks so well of our town. There weren't trained nurses locally, well, might have been a few, but not many. But the ladies of the town volunteered to come and take care of the wounded soldiers here. Not just Confederate soldiers, they took care of wounded Union soldiers as well. I'd love to be able to tell that part of the story. I've just finished reading a book where there was a skirmish down in East Florence, and it's told from the point of view of a Union soldier. It's his diary that's been edited. And after the battle was over, or the skirmish, because it really wasn't a major battle, he went around and he found one guy, and he said, that guy, a Confederate guy, he was a decent man, and it just tears me up when I read it. He said, "I hope it was not my bullet that killed him." We were fighting each other, for God's sake, right? And anyway, mainly these women, thank them, these women tended to the wounded, Confederate and Union soldiers alike. And that's typical of what Florence is all about. And I like to be able to say that. And it really is true. It's not just, hype on my part at all. There's an auditorium in this building up on the second floor, or is it the third floor? Anyway, small auditorium that seats about 120 people. That was the only auditorium that served this campus. But I mentioned that auditorium on purpose because one of U.N.A.'s really famous graduates, there's lots of them, but the one you've probably heard of as much as any other, is an author by the name of Thomas Stribling, T.S. Stribling. He won the Pulitzer Prize in 1933 for a book called The Store, which was part of a trilogy, The Forge and the Unfinished Cathedral and The Store. But he won the Pulitzer for that. But several years ago, we had a program here to honor him, and we were able to have part of the meeting in that auditorium where he had come to do a presentation years earlier. Because of him, this campus is now part of a national literary trail. There's a marker about that on the other side of the library, and he's not the only one who's ever won the Pulitzer. In fact, the young woman.
Hi, this is Lee Freeman, and you're watching North Alabama Local History.
But we celebrate all of that because we're so proud of the heritage that it gives to all of us. When U.N.A. Florence Normal School was first established, it housed kids from grade 1 all the way through college. Kilby School, as we know it now, actually originated in this building as well over in the annex. And there were people who actually started in first grade here and went all the way through their college career on this one campus, pretty much in this one building, which is pretty remarkable. But Kilby School, which is still existing, it's now over on Pine Street, as you probably know. But it was started in 1872 as a laboratory school for the teachers in training to have a particular place to go and do their experimental teaching. And today it still exists. In fact, folks, today it is the only teacher laboratory school still in existence on any university in our state. This university became the first teacher training institute south of the Ohio River. So we have so much to be proud of regarding this campus and its very integral part of our community and its impact too.